Very good. So welcome to the January meeting of the Jaffna Club. Today we're going to have a presentation. It's actually going to be an interview of the two people who are leading the Chamber of Northern Exporters. So the agenda, first welcome address by me, which won't take long, and then we have the speakers. Sugandhan Shanmuganathan, who's the founding president, and Kanojan, who's the head of the EDB in the North. To start these meetings, I always go through the objectives because we have people who have never attended before. Also, the recording is watched by many more people later on. So our objective, the club will facilitate, foster and support social intercourse and fellowship among its members. It will build a network of members and non-members that can work together to promote the economic development of the Northern Province. What is the club for? The club is a catalyst. So what a catalyst means is it helps things happen, but it doesn't change itself. It helps people like us connect with each other, helps people like us connect with Northern entrepreneurs and business opportunities. What the club doesn't do is it's not trying to build an empire. It doesn't invest in anything. It doesn't raise funds. So if people want to raise funds, they can connect separately outside the club. Connecting is what we're all about. We've held a Zoom every month without fail since September 2020. And now I just slowly move forward through here so you can see who we've had since that start. We've had CEOs, we've had general managers, we've had small entrepreneurs, big entrepreneurs. We've had Jeevan Tyagaraja when he was governor of the Northern Province. Professor Thurvarajan, an educationalist, Professor Surendra Kumar, who's currently the Dean of the Jaffna University Faculty of Medicine. We've had lawyers, so we've had many. This is like a who's who of investors and entrepreneurs in the North. It's not complete, there are more, but not enough more. Last month, we had Prasant Subendran, CEO of 3 Axis Labs, who is moving into artificial intelligence development. So that's the introduction. We have speakers from the Northern Chamber of Exporters. Now, we hear a lot about exports, and whenever an economist or a politician appears on television or in the press, they always say, we need to export more, which is obvious, but they don't say how. And if we look at some figures, this is World Trade Organization figures, we can see that of our exports compared to India, most of our exports are low skill, low value exports, while India is the opposite. Our current account has been improving, but that has been because of a reduction in imports more than increase in exports. And if we look at the provincial GDP per head, we can see that the Western province is literally double that of most of the other provinces. So we can see Central, Northern, Uva, Sabragamua, they're all roughly the same at half. Can I ask everyone to mute, please? So just a short video, and this will show that although the Chamber of Northern Exporters is new, they've already made big strides. And this is some work that's currently going on.
Glass door போட்டு முடிவு அடைகின்றது. நல்ல வடிவா இருக்கு. கிளாஸ்ல போட்டாச்சு. அந்த மாதிரி நாங்கள் 6 மணிக்கு பிறகு வேலை செய்து நிற்கிறோம். திறப்புலாக்காக திறப்புலா அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறாக்கள் சொல்லுங்க என்ன செய்யணும் வருத்தது என்றது நாங்கள் கிளாஸ் ரூமில் கொடுப்படுது. சரி, ஏர் கண்டிஷன் ஒன்று திறக்கி வச்சாச்சு, கொஞ்சம் ஏர் கண்டிஷன் கூட்டியாச்சு.
So now we will move on to the interview stage. So Sugandhan's my good friend. I've known him for 9 years, and we've been involved in various projects together. If I very quickly introduce Sugandhan, he left Sri Lanka as a boy during the war. He was 17 or 18. He built a career in Canada, in Toronto. He worked for 20 or so years for the largest office furniture manufacturer, and rose to be effectively their general manager. In that time, he invested in Canada in various enterprises. And in 2014, the year before I came back, he returned to give his children, who at the time I think were 10 and 12, but Sugandhan can correct me on that, a taste of their homeland. Sugandhan's plan was to retire, but there are some people in the world who don't know how to retire. So he noticed opportunities here in the north. And in these years, he's built up his company, VSS Distributors, which is exporting food and drink around the world. And he's now also looking at some tourism ventures, and there are some projects that I'm involved with together with Sugandhan. Kanajan, I don't know so well. Kanajan, can you very quickly give us your role in the north?
Yeah, hello. Good evening to you all. Whether I'm audible now?
Yeah, very audible.
Oh, fine, great. So this is Kanajan, Director, Sri Lanka Export Development Board, Northern Provincial Office. Also, I am serving as advisory board member of Chamber of Northern Exporters. This is a brief about myself. Shall we start the session about CSNE and all? Also, Mr. Jahan, you want to?
Yes. Okay, so can I ask you first, tell us about the Northern Chamber of Enterprises, Exporters. So who is in it? Which are the industries that are part of it? And if you can give us an idea, if you're allowed to, if you can tell us some of the companies.
Yeah, at present, altogether there are now 22 direct exporters got involved in this our Chamber of Northern Exporters, including that producers and exporters of food and beverages, fish and fisheries exporters, and all sort of that Palmyra based products, both food and non-food items, handicrafts, Palmyra based toddy, arak, and Palmyra based value-added products. And that even now the north is the most prominent for the all sort of that tourism, ecotourism, wellness tourism. So there are many sectors in prominence, so all of them are involved in such sectors as well.
Okay, so what is the need for the NCE? What are the problems that you're trying to solve?
Yeah, that at present only there are 22 members consist of as a direct exporters. As a whole northern province, there are so many potential, but we can improve our export sectors by considering there are so many locally available. Hello.
Yeah, carry on.
There are so many locally available resources, such as that fish and fisheries, salt and handicrafts items, food and beverages. If we more focus on those items in a value addition, we can cater more international market by engaging with our facilitating and linking with our that small and medium entrepreneurs. There are in according to the EDB database, there are more than 800 numbers of medium and small entrepreneurs are engaging with local foods and local enterprise manufacturing. So with the help of these 800 numbers of SMEs, we can tie up with these 22 exporters to cater their products to the international market. That is the one motive of our formation. What is the one formation of our CNE? If we consider what is the second point of formation of CNE is, we have to build an interpersonal relationship among members by collecting and exchange of new raw materials, commodities within the members. That was the second objective of formation of CNE. The third objective of formation of CNE is develop and promote and sustain trade and commerce in the provincial economy and attract more investors and diaspora people for sustainable growth of northern Sri Lanka. Now, you know that time to time we are getting so many diaspora people inquiry. What are the more prominent sectors to the invest in especially in the northern Sri Lanka, as well as what are the prominent sectors to export from the north. So by the formation of CNE, then CNE can direct them to identify the prominent sectors in the north. If you focus on what is the final and ultimate motto to form this CNE is, if we work mean that if there are, I told that there are at present there are 22 members at the moment. The 22 members will collectively work and collaboratively within them. Then we can bring our issues to the national level, and the CNE will act as the voice of northern exporters to cater our demands. Especially, that we can more expand our Palali International Airport and KKS Fort as well. So if we can, 22 members collectively and collaboratively act and function as a voice of exporters, we can bargain with Sri Lankan government to cater this demand. Then final, our motive is we can introduce entrepreneurial spirit among our young entrepreneurs and SMEs, especially in women-led businesses. So those 5 are the objectives we tend to form CNE with the help of our 22 exporters.
Okay, no, that's really good. Can I ask Sugandhan?
Adding one more point to it, which is a very value to the 22 members. When you say 22, it's the number small, but the 22 members give a direct employment of about 4,500 people.
Of course.
And then a part-time employment of 15,000 people in the northern province. So, instead of you go out and talk to 15,000 people, you talk to 22 of us, right? Can solve a lot of issues for them.
Yeah, at present, with the help of 22 exporters, now the northern province are beneficiated 4,000 nearly direct employment opportunities. But there are 15,000 indirect job employments opportunities are there if we enlarge CNE with the help of all the stakeholder support. Isn't it, Sugandhan?
Absolutely, yeah, that's correct.
Okay, Sugandhan, a question directly to you. Because over the last 10 years, you've moved from being somebody who's never exported from Sri Lanka or the Northern Province to now one of the leading exporters. So, what were the lessons that you learned that CNE can teach to the new exporters? Because I've worked with you over the years. I've seen that there are many difficulties that the exporters face.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us something about that?
Yeah. Okay, Jahan, when I came 2014, it was, when we started exporting 2016, the North was very raw, right? In Canada, when we were exporting and importing product I was in the manufacturing also, it was very simple and straightforward. Here in Sri Lanka, the government was promoting export, but there was, everywhere you go, there's multiple layer of red tapes we have to pass, right? For the youngsters and the local people, it's very difficult, to export product. So we overcome a lot of the issues, right? And we were able to successfully export product. Like-minded people, right? We were 22 of us got together and formed this export forum, which instead of individually, experience or fight with all the departments, we can now collaboratively work together. Just give you one example. For me to get one approval, right, for toddy export, it took me 4.5 years, right? And then to get a approval for Arak approval to distribution, local distribution, it took me 3.5 years, right? And also anything to do with even income tax, register a proper VAT registration. It took, I think, took us about 2 years to get all the approvals done and all, right? So not only getting the approval, building the relationship within the departments, and for them to understand, and also they have to know who you are and what's your capacity. Now, because of continuous 9 to 10 years of continuous working with them, now they understood. So that's why we formed this, so we can guide other people how to do it easily. So, and also the office that we took, right? As you know, we are in the same building as EDB, same building as BOI, Foreign Investment Services, right? And also we are across the street from Kacheri, right? Because everything is, if you wanted to export product, most of the approvals, most of the department people are right there.
Yeah, so what you've told us is the difficulties of getting permissions from our bureaucracy locally. But also, you guys, between the 20 of you, are exporting to most of the major markets. You can advise on the sort of certifications that are needed to enter those markets. There's bureaucracy to get into North America, to get into Europe. So you can help our exporters on that side as well.
Absolutely, Jagan. So we have over the last 8 years, we have exported from Australia to Dubai to Canada and all the European. So we know each and every country, how their system works, right? What the requirements are, right? So other people don't have to learn go through the hard time to learn it again. So we can easily, give them the knowledge or the information to them. So they can also to us or through direct.
Yes.
That's the main goal.
Mr. Jagan, let me add one more point to the Sugandhan's point. Just after through the formation of CNE will be act as a one-stop service center for the all sort of issues which are rising from exporters and SME. So the CNE will provide one stop or one single window solution for the all the problem raised by the exporters and SMEs.
Okay,
if I simply the Sugandhan's point.
Yeah, I hope that's true. I mean, I've seen one-stop shop told many times, and the only part that's been reality is stop. I've seen that one-stop shops haven't been particularly effective. I think that the difference here is that we have credible exporters who are trusted and known by the bureaucracy, so that they don't think they're being taken for a ride. And also, we know that the bureaucracy isn't always straight, but the bureaucracy knows that they're talking to experienced exporters like Sugandhan and some of the others, so they can't disrupt in the way that they can disrupt a brand new exporter. I think that that's one of the strengths of CNE. Previous one-stop shops have been the bureaucracy getting together into a one-stop shop. But here we have actually the exporters getting together into a one-stop shop. And that, particularly in the north, I think is very, 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 very new. I think another thing that is important CNE can offer is that our standards, the standards of our producers are very poor. And that's something that Sugandhan faced when he was working with some of his suppliers. And that's everything from the consistency of the quality all the way to the packaging. Sugandhan, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Jahan, when we say one-stop solution is from legal advice to packaging to everything, right? Since all the exporters, the 22 of them are exporting overseas, we have knowledge about the packaging standard as well, right? Now working together instead of one person, all 22, right? Buying power is there, negotiating power is there, right? So now we can move a lot of things much faster than we used to be through CNE. That's the main reason of formation. And also we will also work with the banks, certain banks, right? Identify which banks are really helpful to the northern exporters. We will recommend them. And also we will work with the accountants who understand the export side of for the accounting part. And also even lawyers, right? There are specialized lawyers that handle shipping and receiving part of it, and also customs, right? Like that, we will have the expertise. We will work with directly to advise CNE's members.
Yeah, I mean, that's very important. I think there are a lot of producers who have no clue how to deal, even how to find a lawyer. They have no clue even how to find an accountant who will do the job for a reasonable price.
Mr. Jagan, to add more on Sugandhan's point of view, there are ex-bankers who have retired from some of reputed banks, from Commercial Bank and DFCC and Pan Asia Bank. Ex-bankers are 2 or 3 ex-bankers show their expression of interest to work with the CNE as advisory members. And also 2 or 3 insurance companies are also shows their willingness to work with the CNE. And some of the legal advisors and legal firms are also express their interest to work with the CNE. So those are some of the remarkable achievements of the formation of CNE.
Yes, I think that is the secret sauce here. We have individual producers who are making good products, but they simply don't know how to access the chain to get their products overseas. And sometimes they can piggyback. Some people who are making curry powder, maybe they will start off selling through Sugandhan's company. And once they learn how to do international quality products, then they can break away from him and they can start selling directly. And that's how this can spread across the northern province. The northern province has one unique asset, more so than any other, and that is the diaspora. And it's not only because we want the diaspora to invest their money here, which we do, but the diaspora also has a wide network around the world. And the diaspora is able to deliberately take northern products and sell them in Sydney and Melbourne and Toronto and London. But the problem that they have is they don't have a credible place to come. They don't want to take a risk with somebody making juggery that they've never heard of. But if they can come to a credible unit like CNE, then they would have more confidence to do that.
Absolutely, Jalan. We've seen there's a huge cry from overseas chambers to connect with somebody in the north, right? And when they found out that we 22 of us formed this a year ago, we are already in contact with the Chamber of Toronto, Australia, right? And also India also contacted.
And Chamber of Tamil Nadu.
Sorry,
Chamber of
London.
So all the chambers are also very much interested to work with us. So we are in a process of writing a legal framework, how we're going to work together, which will benefit both sides, CNE and not only CNE members and also the their chamber, right? It's used to be
So Sugandhan, I think I'd see you're driving
like
and you're
one-way traffic, right? It's a playground for.
yeah, Sugandhan, your internet connection is not very good at the
Okay,
moment.
Jaffna, let me explain. Okay, the chambers overseas, right, especially Canada, England, Paris, Australia, they also looking for somebody to work within the northern province, right? Because a lot of the Tamils diaspora there, because they are emotionally attached with Jaffna still. They wanted to buy Jaffna product and they wanted to invest into Jaffna, but they didn't have the right people to invest through, right? So they are in process of talking to them and bring them as a member to CNE. That will open up a huge network. I will tell you, in Toronto alone, they had 375 registered member on their chamber, right? And then another member I have talked to, they had 600 and something members, right? Paid members. So by CNE's formation, we will connect the world from Jaffna, right? So I was very happy to see that because it's not like when we were doing business in Toronto, we were going after people. Here, when we start something and people are coming after us for it, right? So that's a positive thing here, Jaffna.
What is the reaction that you have from the Northern Province? So I know we went for a meeting with the governor a few days ago. Can you tell us a bit about the support from the top level Northern Province governor, chief secretary, that kind of people? Okay.
So over the last 10 years, what I find, okay, not over the last 10 years, especially I make it a specific, it's a common issue that they had all this time. They know what the problem is, but they didn't know, most of them didn't know what was a simple solution, right? Since we, all 22 of us have the face all the problems that they were identified, we also have the solution for it. So that's why the governor and the chief secretary was very much interested to work with us to sort out a lot of the issue for us. So then people like us can move forward fast instead of moving very slowly. So it was a very positive meeting with the governor.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask from the audience if they have questions. But the last question that I'm going to ask Sugandhan and Kanujan is, who do you want to join? Because we have some extremely small producers who are probably turning over, I don't know, £1 million rupees a year, 100,000, extremely small, all the way to producers who I know who have turnovers in the billions, Northern Province producers. What kind of company do you want to join the NCE?
Of course, a very good question you raised at the last moment. You know, in order to got registered within the CNE, the particular person should be act as a direct exporter from Sri Lanka. So in order to get eligible as a direct exporter, the particular person should registered at Sri Lanka Custom and Sri Lanka Custom and Sri Lanka Export Development Board. So once the person got registered with the Sri Lanka Custom and Sri Lanka Export Development Board, he or she can directly get involved with the CNE and can get involved with the CNE and eligible for the activities of CNE.
Okay, in my opinion, that's a mistake, because there are people who haven't registered with the export board. There are people who are planning to start exporting. So in my opinion, CNE should have some allowance, maybe some way of supporting the people who haven't started exporting. Sugandhan, what are you going to
We
welcome
thought
those?
about that, Jagan. Now each and everyone is talking about, because EDP have done a great job over the last 10 years. Now every single person wants to export their product. Even the person that producing 1 or 2 packer product also wanted to export, right? So CNE can't cater all that, right? But we will advise them offline, until they get to a certain level. Once they achieve certain level, and then we will bring them into as a member to CNE.
Okay, so maybe you can
That's
have an
always, right?
an associate membership. Often clubs, they'll have an associate membership who have access to resources, but full members, associate members don't have any voting rights or anything like that.
Yeah, but Jagan, the thing is, see, there's already exporters are exporting. They have a lot of problems, right? We don't want it to thin ourselves too fast, too quick, and then you won't be able to achieve anything. So better we focus on certain criteria and then move forward with other levels.
I understand. Yes, I agree. I understand. Okay, so now I'm going to open the floor to questions. So can you put your hand up, or just, if you don't know where the hand up button is, just say something, say that you'd like to speak.
Right, Jagan, can I please raise my voice here?
Yes, Rajivan.
Right. So on the subject that you were speaking last, right? Helping the small entrepreneur, right, to develop his business and getting to the export business, right? I'm sure CNN is handling, as you said, as rightfully said, maybe business in millions or billions, right? But the small entrepreneur also needs help to start off, because all big things start small, right? So we believe in that. I'm a retired banker, work for commercial bank, regional manager for the northern province. I too have 2 other bankers with me working as partners. I have formed a company, and we are helping the small entrepreneur to start up. Actually, the small entrepreneur is already in some business, right? But export business is totally new to them, right? So we are helping them to sign up and establish documents, right? In a very small scale, we will help them to start off their business in export lines, okay? We will also arrange bank funding, because we are bankers, we know how to do that. And we develop them and then help them to get into export line. In our group, we have also shipping agents working in Colombo, and we also have very good export business banker, retired banker who is living in Singapore in our group. So he will also assist us. So that way we will help these small entrepreneurs to develop. I think as Sugandhan said, once they have developed to a certain level, yes, they can register themselves with the CNN and then continue maybe in a larger scale, or they can move on to the next stage. So this is what we look at it, right? This is how we are planning to develop these small entrepreneurs. Thanks for the opportunity.
So Rajivan, is your group a formal group, or is it just informal?
It's formal. I have a registered company, right? And we are doing it professionally. Okay, we are doing it professionally.
If you could share that, if you let me know who that is.
Sorry.
And also, Jagan, one more thing. If Rajivan's already registered and he's a direct importer, he can join CNE. Right?
Sorry. I mean, we as retired bankers, we don't get into business of importing or exporting, but we are only facilitating, right? We are helping these small entrepreneurs to do their imports and exports, handling all the documentation part of it, advising them and helping them to establish their business. That is what we are doing. Because we are retired people at this age, we cannot establish new businesses, right? So that is what our
Okay,
job is
I
at the
got it. I
moment.
got it.
Yeah.
I got
Got
it.
it. Fine.
So
Yeah.
Rajiv, if you can send me your contact details, and then
Yeah,
I'll
contact
share
details,
that
of
with-
course. Yes.
That's great.
So
Thank you,
how do you
Rajiv.
want it? Shall I WhatsApp to you or WhatsApp to
WhatsApp.
Sugandhan? I
If you
think
can,
Sugandhan, I have met you once before also. If I'm not mistaken, are you related to Mr. Shanmugathan of Customs?
Yes.
There you are. You dropped me once when I went to Shanmugathan's house. You dropped me in your car, right? At that time, I was working for Cortina branch of Commercial Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Right. Jagan, you met me at the Jaffna Managers Forum when you came down to Jaffna.
all right.
Right. Thereafter, we were sharing some emails, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I will
Okay.
WhatsApp my contacts to probably, gentlemen, if you all can share your phone numbers here in this forum, I can note it down and I can share my contacts with you. Can you
Yes.
display the phone numbers in this session, please?
Yeah. So I'm going to put my WhatsApp as a UK number.
Okay. I'll note it down. If it appears there on the screen, I'll note it down. Yes.
Okay.
Or if you
There
can even say by mouth, I can write it down. No issue.
Okay. I put it in the chat, so if you can
Okay.
take it from there.
Fine. It's there. Just disappeared. Sorry. Disappeared. Yeah, immediately. Can you put it again, please?
Yeah.
May
Okay,
I
there it
ask?
goes again. Arul Ranjithan. Would you like
Yes.
to?
7941. Yeah, 1 minute, sir. 7941. Again, it disappeared.
So 0044
0044. Okay, 0044 7941. And thereafter,
480993.
480993. I will repeat. Just tell me whether it's correct, right? 0044 794 148 093.
0993. Two
Sorry,
nines.
0993. Okay, am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, Jagan.
Correct.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sugant, can I also have your phone number? if you don't mind?
Rajivan, ask me. I'll pick it up later. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
Arul,
Thank you.
can you speak?
Yes, thank you for taking my call, Jagan. I am in USA. I work with several diaspora organizations. I want to, that operate in Sri Lanka. I want to know, when you say northern exporters, do you work with Eastern Province also, or are you not interested in working with someone from the Eastern Province? I know some people who are engaged in expanding business with the mushroom cultivation. They are getting close to export level. Now my question is, will CNE be interested in working with them? Thank you.
Of course, sir. Thank you, Mr. Arul, for your question. You know, the name itself, it refers to CNE, Chamber of Northern Export. At present, CNE belongs to only Northern Province. But not to worry, you know that you can work with Sri Lanka Export Development Board. It will help you to some of the Eastern exporter to achieve their targets.
Okay.
At present,
Okay.
CNE belongs to Northern Province. Very sorry, yeah. You can contact the Sri
Thank
Lanka
you.
Export Development Board EDB to reach your market for the Eastern Province.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Lasantha, you have your hand up.
Thanks, Jagan. Congratulations to Sugandhan and Mr. Kanojan for that, for setting this CNE. I think it's a much needed initiative. I think my question is a follow-up question to Jagan, because we see, as Jagan said, that there are so many potential exporters, and I would really urge you to see whether you could, in your one-stop shop or help desk, have a link, where these people could get some information, a roadmap as to how to achieve this status, through their DS office. Because I don't expect them to come to Jaffna to meet you to get all this. But if you can look at the possibility of linking, CNE with the respective DX officers, I think then that will give them a little bit of a head start. And then, of course, they will catch on. And I'll be only to add to, offer my services if you want this, the linking to be done, because this is a constant question that pops up when we go to the villages and speak to them, right? So just food for thought, because I believe that will help them a lot, because otherwise, like most of these other forums and associations that start, should not be branded as one who looks after only the big fish, So I know Sugandhan has the heart to help the village folk anyway. Just think about it, and maybe we can catch up offline to take this forward. Thank you.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah. Who's? Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
What's all the export have to go through Colombo? Is that right?
Currently, yes, but we are working on, as a CNE, we are working on change that to go direct from Jaffna.
Okay. What's the possibility of exporting directly through the KKS port, I think? What's the possibility, or the airport?
That will take some time. They are talking, but at least we will start shipping the container direct from Jaffna to Colombo, from Colombo out. That's the first thing that we are doing. The meantime, they are, the airport and the harbor, they are working on that. May take a little bit of time, but this shipping direct container from Jaffna to Colombo will start soon.
Another question is, can the Palali airport handle commercial airlines? Like, for example, if you are planning to export something very fresh to maybe Dubai or then Canada, can it be done from Palali?
I had a meeting with them last week. They got some funding to expand the runway. As soon as that happened, they're in the process of calling the tender and everything. As soon as that's done,
Hello, I lost you.
Sugandhan, you're muted.
No,
Okay.
what I have said is, Jahan, the airport, I had some meeting about administration a week ago. What they have said is they are working on expanding the runway, right? And they have the funding. And once that runway extension has happened, then commercial flights can land. And we are also working with them. As an individual myself, also CNE also will work to speed up that process.
Can I also add something to that? Lasantha City is Palali handling passenger airlines from Chennai, right? From India.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it has the capacity to handle cargo aircrafts as well, because once it was the case, right? During the wartime, many cargo planes, military planes landed there. During the IPCAV operations, right? Many Indian cargo planes landed there. So even now, right? If the authorities really, if Sugandhan and others can push the authority to start the cargo operations in Palali, it will not be a problem. Let the expansion, other things take place parallelly. But it can be done, right? Same with KKS Harbor also. Okay. It's a matter of policy change, right? Simple as that.
Yeah, that's the question I have, not more than the logistic. What is the willingness of the government to allow us to export directly from Jaffna? One. The other thing is, do you or any organizations have anything in mind to create a storage facility, a large storage facility, both environmentally controlled, that is air-conditioned portion as well as non-air-conditioned portion, where you can encourage the farmers or any other producers or buy it from them, and proper processing for proper export and then exporting out of Jaffna? Anybody thought about a processing center?
Yeah,
as-
of course. The couple of weeks ago, some of the members from CNE had a meeting with Honorable Governor of Northern Province and government agent of Jaffna to acquire the Navakoli food storage. The Navakoli food storage is a huge warehouse.
Yes.
We were talking about to acquire the particular storage to CNE. Still it is in the negotiation process. I think so that we could able to accommodate the Navakoli food storage for our warehouse logistic purposes.
Wonderful.
Gentlemen, can you please correct me if I'm wrong? Right? I think that the storage belongs to Paddy Marketing Board. Am I correct?
You are right. It was Paddy Marketing Board.
Yeah,
Yes.
if that is the case, right? The Paddy Marketing Board will really need it for their storage purposes as it is, right? Because what really happened was it's adjoining the Navakoli station. So earlier days, paddy was transported by train, right? So that is the purpose why it was built. Nowadays, the trains don't transport it. So as you said, if Paddy Marketing Board does not need it for other purposes, yes, you can look forward to change it over. But at the same time, right, Palali Airport, the adjoining areas have huge lands where we can establish storages. That is not an issue at all, right? All what has to be done is, because here again I want to add something. The commercial, I mean the businessmen in Colombo who have been doing this business right along, the shipping business and forwarding business, I mean they have to accept another outlet from out of Sri Lanka in Jaffna. Okay. So I mean they can influence the government not to do that. Previously it was the case, but I think with the new government we can make them understand the reality. But organization like CNE has to push the government through the governor to accept the change, right itself, right now, and start working towards this. It's not at all a difficult thing, right? It's just easy.
Can I add one more thing to the organization? If the organization contact the diaspora people and businesses in the diaspora and verbally, not they verbally commit a certain amount of money that we will invest in the northern province or Jaffna, and then you can use that as a leverage with the government and say, hey, look, so much of money is coming in, provided that we can export from Palali Airport or the Palali KKS harbor, and that might be a strength for your organization. Convince the government to allow this to or expedite the process of allowing goods going out of Jaffna. Just a thought.
Yeah, of course, gentlemen, all of your views are well reached me. You know that during my introduction session, I said that there are 5 objectives of formation of CNE. During my session, I focused that as a 4th objective. The CNE will act as a voice of northern exporters. So all those your facts and figures and your worries will be taken up as a matters of big issue in the northern province, and we will brought it up to the national level to tackle all those issues. Please.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay,
Anand.
Jagan.
Yeah.
Jagan, I have another meeting to go to 6 o'clock. We have few minutes. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. All right. So Anand,
Can I ask a question, Jagan?
yes, go ahead.
Yes, while we're on the question on the issue of storage, is there any facility in the northern province or eastern province where there is a facility for storing fish in an ice chamber, like what the Fisheries Corporation has in Gaul, a huge facility where a cold what they call the cold house, I think, and where fisheries being a very major industry in the north. Is there any facility like that? And is there any chance, if there is not, whether there is any initiative in that direction? Because that is something that is very important, I think. Thank you.
Now, since I'm in Jaffna, I think I can add to that. The individual exporters or the companies that engage in exports, they do have their own storages, right? But not as a common facility as it is. Yes.
So,
So
as
that can add to that.
the
People like NSC Foods and others like others exporters, they do have their own storage, right? For their own export businesses. But not a common storage established by the Fisheries Corporation or the government as it is. It's a good idea to really push them to do that. Yes.
Yeah, and also they do that in order to transport. They send lorries and so on from Colombo to transport fish from Point Beetroot, and sometimes I wonder why that can be avoided by, as Dr. Sivarajan asked about, direct transportation from Jaffna directly to exporters instead of going through Colombo, a thought.
Hi, if I can jump in there, Jagan, it's Gauri.
Oh,
You know
Gary,
what,
hi.
yeah, what the thing that I think has to be made very clear, and perhaps Sugandhan will explain further, is that in order to export directly, one also has to have the infrastructure to hold not just the cargo, which we don't have in the Jaffna Airport at the moment. Jaffna Airport is like 2 or 3 little containers put together. They have no storage facility for any cargo. But even more important, there is no proper customs clearance procedures for cargo. There are just 2 customs officials who look at individual travelers' suitcases when they fly in and out of Chennai, because customs is required for international travel. So there is a large infrastructure and logistics, bureaucratic administration required before cargo can be exported directly out of Jaffna Airport. This is apart from any of the runway issues that need to be done, and the expansion of the airport building itself. So, Sugandhan, you may want to expand on that. So that's a very long-term and very large investment that would have to be committed to by the government of Sri Lanka. But I do understand that there is an Indian government interest in supporting that. So maybe that may be facilitated. I just wanted to clarify this.
Yeah, Sugandhan, I think, has gone. He had another meeting. I don't know, Kanojan, if you can say anything on that.
Yeah. You know that good question raised by the Ms. Gauri. You know that during the tenure of NPP government period, we will work with NPP government and on behalf of CNE, we will push government to rush out these issues. You know that at present both Palali International Airport and the KKS Fort are only much suitable for the passenger operation only. But you know that a week ago, the airport and aviation authority of Sri Lanka personnel met the governor to discuss about how we can expand the Palali airport more to attract not only the passenger as well as cargo. And we hope during the tenure of NPP we can expand both Palali airport and both passenger and cargo operation as well. I hope.
May I interrupt you and say something differently? You said that we hope the government. Yes, that is true. But what you could do is, as an organization, create a plan, create a plan or something like feasibility study. That's what it is. Yeah, feasibility study. Saying that we have so much of land here, so much of agricultural products can be produced, and so much of fisheries are there, so much of fish industry can be developed, and then create a feasibility study and a plan and present to the Indian and Chinese embassies. Go directly to them, embassies, and tell them, this is what we like to develop in thing. Can you help us either by way of grant or some or the other? Help us, and then get the get the approval or a willingness from either of the both. Don't just go with India, go with China too, or even the American embassy. And then go to the government. They say, look, we have the feasibility, we have the grant, we have this help from the international community or the government, and can you please do something? Then they will have a leverage, you know.
Of course, yes, we will consider favorably your request. Please, we will consider.
Yeah, one more thing to add, both Palali Airport and KK's Harbour are both in very close proximity, right? Maybe within 5 kilometers. So the ideal situation can be if we can establish a common storage in that area, right? Both shipping and moving through aircrafts also can be catered. So that facility is there for us, right? It's a huge advantage. Common storage. So please try to work on that. Yes.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
but
gentlemen, now I'm going to bring this to a close. We've just exceeded our normal 1 hour. Is there one more question that anyone would like to ask? One more. Then I'm going to give a closing statement. I feel that with the new government, there's a sense of optimism, both with the community inside the North and with the diaspora. And I think that we have a chance here. When we had the meeting with the governor and the CNE, there was a clear sense of energy. I've met the governor, a few previous governors. I think we have an excellent governor now. I've met previous governors, and that energy wasn't there. And I think that now this is the time the country needs foreign exchange. This is the time to push this. I agree with the Palali Airport, KKS Harbour, absolutely. I think the storage facilities definitely, and the gentleman who spoke, the fact that KKS Harbour and Palali are so close together is a wonderful opportunity. So we should work together. CNE, I fully support those guys. And I really hope that in 5 years' time, we're going to see a very different North. I really hope that. Okay, so I'm now going to wind up. So thank you, everybody, for coming. And I see people from Australia to United States, and some of them are getting up, some of them are going to bed. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jagan, and thank you, gentlemen, and Gauri as well. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jagan. Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.